Good afternoon. It's time to call to order the February meeting of the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the January 26th, 2016 Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust.
So move.
A motion is second. Any questions or comments? Please cast your votes. And it is approved. Next is to ratify the claims. You see the claims before you. A motion and a second. Jimmy, you want a chance? We're on the claims.
Please.
Continue? Proceed.
We'll say it's just now 2:01.
201 to be exact. We have a motion and a second on the claims. Seeing no discussion, please cast your votes. And the claims are approved. Next on the agenda are items that need a separate vote. I will make a mention, Ben Bryant will not be here today. His mother-in-law passed away in the last few days, so please remember him in your prayers and his family. So we'll be working with without him, and Kathy has agreed to answer any questions that you normally send Brent's way.
I said I would do my best.
And you do your best. That's what you said. Okay, first item, amendment number 2 to contract for engineering services, project PC 0394, project 180, package Streetscape 6.
I think I'd like to ask Michael Clark to come and talk about this. It's an amendment for an increase of $45,000, and I think it's to incorporate an increased scope of work for the engineer associated with the project.
Thank you, Kathy. And you are correct. Tetra Tech is the consulting engineer for Project 180 Streetscape Package 6. That package was split into 2 pieces. Package 6A has been completed, and Package 6B will come to the Trust at their next meeting for consideration of advertisement. Subsequent to the negotiation of Tetra Tech's original contract, it was determined to expand the scope of that contract to include streetcar track into the design for Gaylord between Reno and Sheridan. And doing so, that required a redesign of the 24-inch sanitary sewer and 20-inch water line to miss both the proposed streetcar alignment as well as existing OG&E underground infrastructure. And after discussion with Tetra Tech, the request is for an increase of $45,000.
Okay. You've heard the item. Questions from the trustees?
When is the completion date?
The bidding date, we will come to the Trust next month to advertise. We anticipate that construction would be able to start around June 1st, and again, it's probably an 8-9 month project.
All right, thank you.
Action by the trustees.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it is approved. Next item, change order number 2 with the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust in the City of Oklahoma City, PC 0395. Again, another Project 180 Streetscape.
Yes, sir. This is Streetscape Package 7. It's the work that folks see down on Park Avenue right now. The contract is made up of 2 pieces, a water portion and a paving portion. Just as a reminder, the Utilities Department pays for the water portion of the contract, and the Trust pays for the paving portion of the contract through the TIF 8. The increase on the water side is just over $29,000, and it's for relocated water meters, additional fire lines, and additional pipe fittings. And then the PC portion is almost $56,000. It provides additional manhole ring and cover, some header curb to allow ADA compliance between building face and sidewalk, connecting roof drains from building into the storm sewer, structural soil added around the 2 bald cypress trees that were maintained there on Park Avenue, changing some electrical wire, performing additional structural work on a basement, and then providing some access points for lighting installation at the library. The contract also alters the time of completion on milestone 1 and 2.1 to allow for the additional work, delays, and weather.
Thank you, sir. Questions from the trustees?
I'd like to move it.
We have a motion and a second. Seeing no discussion, please cast your votes. And it is so ordered. Next item is a resolution acknowledging and accepting letters and a UCC filing from legal counsel for Prosperity Bank and Medikey Partners, LLC.
Yes, this item is related to the redevelopment of the Midakey Building in Bricktown. When we entered into the agreement allowed for the developer to assign their incentive payments to their bank, and these documents and filings make that possible.
I'll move the item.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it is so ordered. Resolution authorizing a payment of $175,000 plus an amount necessary to cover reasonable closing costs from Increment District Number 4, funds to the Bureau of Land Management for purchase of a tract of land.
This is kind of an interesting one. When we were working on the Dell project, so TIF District Number 4 is the Oklahoma City Riverfront TIF district that we created for the Dell project. We found that there was a tract of land that the city thought it owned, but was still owned by the Bureau of Land Management, probably from pre-statehood, basically. It was a little sliver along the river. We finally completed all the work to resolve all of those title issues through the Bureau of Land Management. This item allows the Economic Development Trust, or the city, to purchase that property from the Bureau of Land Management so that it can then be transferred to Dell as a part of their economic development agreement. The rest of the property where the Dell campus is located was transferred to Dell probably, 2009.
And the source of funds is the original TIF 4.
Yes.
I'd move the item.
A motion and a second. Any questions? Please cast your votes. Thank you all. Next up is the Alliance for Economic Development of Oklahoma City fiscal year 2015-2016 second quarter report and a year-end audit report.
Yes, in your packet is the second quarter President's report, financial statements, and our annual audit for the Alliance. On the President's report, I think I just hit a few highlights, projects and programs that we're still working on and trying to complete. One of them is the acquisition of the property for the new convention center site, the MAPS 3 Convention Center. We did a great deal of the work to develop the appraisal information that was provided to City Council to help them make the decision to change the location of the convention center to the east side of the MAPS 3 park. And we've been working very hard to get that property acquired. To date, we have, I know we've acquired almost all of the parcels. Either we've agreed to price or we have them under contract. There's probably only 3 or 4 parcels right now that are still under negotiation or that we'll have to go through condemnation on. On the job creation front, we've been working still with the Boeing Company on their development at Southwest 59th and Air Depot. If you remember, they're building a very large building there to house about 900 employees. We work with the Oklahoma Industries Authority to help make that project happen, and that building is nearing completion.
Quick question on Boeing. With the state budget crisis, I know Boeing qualified for certain tax credits. How is that shaping up? Last week there was a story by one of the news channels that said that Boeing is scrapping several projects. So how is that looking for Boeing and also the city?
There are certain tax incentives that Boeing was eligible for, including the Quality Jobs Act, and some of other incentives, property tax exemptions that they were eligible for because of the kind of work that they do in the facility. All of those, there are bills at the legislature that are active that would put those incentives in jeopardy. I think they're committed to building this building, obviously, because it is almost completed, and bringing those jobs here, but I think we were very hopeful about the future with Boeing, and I think that kind of legislation definitely puts those projects at jeopardy.
Thank you.
Some of the other things that we've been very involved in the past, over the past quarter, was the amendment to the Downtown Maps TIF district and the creation of a new TIF district for Core to Shore. The City Council approved both of those, the amendment to the project plan for the downtown TIF and the creation of a new Core to Shore TIF district this morning at City Council meeting. So the past year really has been involved in trying to get those amendments and changes, a new TIF district created. Lots of meetings with the Oklahoma City Public Schools, a lot of outreach and communication that was a part of those projects. We also have been very active in Northeast Oklahoma City, working on the redevelopment of the historic Page Woodson School. That project is moving forward to revitalize the school building into affordable housing. The auditorium space and some of the other commercial space will be leased to a community development corporation that the Alliance has created in order to provide services to the community. It has to be used for community service space. So we're really excited about that project, looking forward to working on it more. We've also worked on a TIF allocation for the Northeast Shopping Center at Northeast 36th and Kelly that I think has been before the trust already, and on the Innovation District. We also assisted the city with the analysis for the American Indian Cultural Center, for the commercial development of that center, and provided assistance on that project. And I think that probably hits the highlights. I'll be glad to answer any questions about the financial reports. Our audit is included in your packet in accordance with our contract with the city.
Thank you, Kathy. Quick question on the TIFs that were approved today. There was an inference created that this was something that was rushed through and just kind of done at the last moment. But you indicated that you've been, and the Alliance have been working on this for as much as a year with a whole bunch of interested groups.
Yes.
Would you like to make a comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, we initially presented the idea to City Council. It was probably last January. We began working on it and asking for the creation of the TIF Review Committee. And, you know, we worked through the process, and questions came up related especially to the Oklahoma City Public Schools and how TIF impacts school districts. And we began a series of meetings with the school district probably in last April, and I think we held 8 separate meetings with officials from the school district to talk about TIF, and had several briefings with City Council and briefings with other groups in the community. I've made several public presentations about tax increment financing and the new proposed TIF district for Core to Shore. So it's a lengthy process, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for questions and comments, and we've made changes and adjustments through the TIF as we've heard from different groups. And I think today's action, you know, we have a great project plan that we can work from in the future for Core to Shore.
If an individual is out there and would like some information on this, how would you recommend he or she get that information?
Well, if they want information about tax increment financing, they can contact my office, or they can contact Brent Bryant with the city, and we'll be glad to try to answer any questions that they have.
How about giving your number if you don't mind?
Okay, sure. It's our phone number is 405-604-6780, and our website is theallianceokc.com. .org, if you want to find us on the web.
Another quick question before I open it up on another subject. The Page Woodson School, okay? It is also needing, or one of the ways to put that deal together would be involved in tax credits, historical tax credits. There's a possibility that may change, and what arrangements have been made to, if that were to occur?
The Page Woodson School development, part of the capital structure for it includes about $3.2 million in state historic tax credits. There is legislation that's been proposed that would put a moratorium on the state historic tax credit for a period of 2 years, which would impact this project. In fact, it will make the financing for the project extremely difficult to complete. The Oklahoma City Redevelopment Authority has agreed to provide a standby line of credit if necessary, but it's hoped that the state historic tax credits will be preserved, or at least be preserved for projects that are so far down the road where developers have gone through a great deal of work and done a great deal of due diligence and spent a great deal of money to make happen, with the understanding that those credits would be available. But it's a very serious risk. It's a very serious risk for several important projects in Oklahoma City. Paige Woodson is probably the one that we've been working on the most lately, but we anticipate that it could impact the First National Center. There's another historic school in northeast Oklahoma City, Dunbar, the old Dunbar Elementary, that could use credits. Lots of projects in the downtown, the Sunshine Cleaners project on Classen, some of those projects in Midtown and in the downtown area all use tax credits. So it's an important program that helps create the kinds of places where companies want to locate, where people want to live and work and be a part of the community, and really help maintain the historic fabric that we have here in Oklahoma City. Since we're a relatively young state, we don't have as many historic buildings as a lot of other places do. So.
Thank you, ma'am. Other comments or questions from trustees? Jim?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Regarding the tax incentive issues, and I think the excellent points that you're making, I wanted to make you aware that this Thursday at 2 at the State Capitol in room 419B is the Governor and Legislature's Incentive Evaluation Commission. So they'll be meeting to discuss all of those issues, from energy to quality jobs to the historic issues like you described. So, Kathy, perhaps someone from your shop that could be present and provide that good factual anecdotal information. And just a question on the audit. In reading it and reviewing it, it appears to be a clean audit, no qualifications or deficiencies, and I just wanted to give you an opportunity to confirm that.
Yes, clean audit.
Then I would move receipt of the second quarter report and the annual audit.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion or questions? Seeing none, please cast your votes. And it is voted to be received. General Manager's report. You're going to put in for overtime today.
I am. I've been busy today, and I have to talk a lot since Brent's not here. Just a couple of things that we have received: the ad valorem payment from Devon for the year. And I'm trying to find a page. I think it's on page 12. The annual payment was $11,312,352.16. So they have a minimum tax payment requirement that's a part of their economic development agreement, and we received that payment in January. Also, the other thing I just wanted to point out is we have an update on the outlet mall, and through the sales for the months of August through December exceeded the target by 0.68%. So I know some of you people, especially city council people, know that our overall sales tax collections for the city have been down recently, but the outlet mall still seems to be meeting projections and doing well. You helped out? Okay, good. The new North Face store out there is helping out a lot, so.
The outlet mall hosted our youth council this past month, and the general manager out there gave a report on the activity at the outlet mall and was very, very bullish on how well it was doing and how bright the future looked. So thank you for going out there and spurring that. We don't need incentive tax credits anymore. We just need to send Jim Roth to the site. Okay. Okay, any other comments on the general manager's report? Do we need to vote to receive that? No. Okay. That concludes the items on our agenda. Any comments from staff? Any comments from trustees? Citizens? Seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you all.